Good afternoon. I'm County Executive Ken Jenkins, and we're here this afternoon to bring you a weather update for the forecast for tomorrow, tonight going into tomorrow, where we have a wintry mix of snow and ice forecasted for Westchester that's beginning tonight, and it's going to continue through the morning rush hours tomorrow. Standing with me this afternoon is our Deputy County Executive, Richard Wishney, our Director of Operations, Joe McDonald, our Commissioner of Emergency Services, Susan Spear, our Deputy Commissioner of Emergency Services, Mike Volk, and our Deputy Commissioner of Public Works and Transportation, Hernani Diamita. So tomorrow, the travel impacts are expected for the Tuesday morning commute due to a wintry mix of snow, sleet, and freezing rain. The snow is forecast to develop after 1 a.m., becoming more likely after 4 a.m., and then changing to a wintry mix and a plain rain from south to north late Thursday morning and into the afternoon. Because of that, we wanted to get to you this evening as we're preparing for tomorrow, because hazardous travel is anticipated during the morning commute, because they'll have snow-covered roads and icy roads in many conditions, especially on those untreated roads and surfaces. So we always want to make sure to remind people to be prepared for slippery roads, slowing down and using caution while traveling, checking with the New York State Department of Transportation 511 NY information for their latest road conditions. If the road conditions in your area become hazardous, consider waiting until the roads are cleared before traveling. If you're going outside, watch your first few steps taken on stairs, sidewalks, and driveways. These surfaces can be icy and slippery, increasing your risk of fall and injury. So for northern Westchester, let's get our Deputy County Executive to come in and let us know about the weather for northern and southern Westchester.
Thank you, Mr. County Executive. I just wanted to, before I give the weather report, I just want to make it clear that the County of Westchester takes these weather forecasts very seriously. We don't do it just to get people excited and then they say, oh, nothing happened. Well, in this case, we do expect some very, very dangerous conditions and are asking people to really pay attention to the weather forecast. Tomorrow, from 4 a.m. to 1 p.m., that's Thursday, we expect precipitation will begin as snow, then change to a wintry mixture of snow, sleet, and freezing rain during the day Thursday. Temperatures eventually will rise above freezing from south to north late Thursday morning, with winds 5 to 8 miles per hour. The snowfall and ice reports are expected to be 1 to 2 inches of snow and approximately 0.3 inches of ice possible. Southern Westchester, basically the same report from 4 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Thursday. Again, beginning with snow, changing to a wintry mix of snow, sleet, and freezing rain. The temperatures eventually will rise above freezing from south to north. Late Thursday morning, winds in this case will be from 5 to 9 miles per hour, and that's again for the southern part of the county. Expected snow of 1 to 2 inches possible, with little or no ice accumulation, again, in the southern part of the county.
Thank you, Deputy County Executive Wishney. And again, certainly we want to make sure that we're preparing folks. With that, let's bring up our Commissioner of Emergency Services, who will absolutely be monitoring the storm and being able to be prepared to assist local municipalities as needed with emergency supplies and equipment. With that, Commissioner.
Thank you so much, County Executive Jenkins, Deputy County Executive Wishney, and Director Joe McDonald. We always appreciate the opportunity to provide information to the public for their safety. It's February, so we certainly expect to be hit with some winter weather. What we're concerned about here is not particularly the snow accumulation, but the icing. So we're going to get the combination of snow and ice, which will make for some very dangerous sidewalks and road conditions during the morning commute, which is the worst possible timing. So We expect the weather to be over by mid-afternoon, so hopefully things will get better for the evening commute, but the morning commute will be treacherous, so please pay attention to any forecasts which may impact the amount of snow, ice, or the timing. Westchester County's departments are very experienced in preparing for winter storms and responding to them. The Department of Emergency Services works closely with the county police as well as the Department of Public Works regarding roads, public transit, and the airport. There will be more 911 dispatchers on staff overnight and in the morning in case there are a number of accidents that need to be responded to. There'll be more road patrols from law enforcement and necessary treatment of the roads by DPW. If you can, we urge you to stay home. Don't get on the roads. Don't walk on slippery sidewalks. Please check with your airline in the morning if you have a flight, and be especially careful of untreated sidewalks. If you must walk or drive, please take it very slowly. Leave plenty of room behind the car in front of you, and please give wide room to snowplows. They are out there for your safety, so please give them plenty of room. Remember to clear the snow from your car, the windows, and the roof. Please, that's in everybody's best interest, including yours. I want to especially give a big thanks to all the first responders, 911 dispatchers, firefighters, EMS, law enforcement, and DPW plow drivers who have to be out in these conditions for your safety. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. And again, trying to make sure to echo those thoughts about making sure our emergency services will be working and monitoring with all local municipalities. Deputy Commissioner Volk and the team with Commissioner Spear will be making sure that our emergency communications center, known as 6C Control, will have that additional personnel assigned due to the potential high volumes of calls. Up next, we're going to bring on our Deputy Commissioner for the Department of Public Works and Transportation, Hernane Diamita, to let us know the information for not only our roads, for the county roads, but also for our Beeline transit system. DC.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. Thank you very much. As my colleagues already expressed, and I can echo their sentiments, avoid unnecessary road travel. Of course, the less cars on the road, the better it is for the plows, the safer it is for them, and the more efficient they can work. Ahead of the storm, we've already brined the roads, and we have scheduled our DPW crews to come in early to be prepared for what's to come. Remember, less drivers on the road will help the plows work better. And as the other colleagues I have here already said, the use of safety and caution should always be exercised in conditions such as this with ice. There's nothing more to say other than please be careful, be safe, drive slow, and don't be out there if you don't have to be.
Thanks, Deputy. So again, making sure with our Beeline transit system and the county airport, which is under the control of the Department of Public Works and Transportation, making sure that you give that extra room for those personnel that are clearing for the Department of Transportation purposes. But again, giving more room and a lot of room for those vehicles that are doing that. And again, if you have to be out there on the road, giving yourself extra time and making sure all of your equipment is charged up, your phones, and if you have water and that kind of things in the car to make sure that that you're safe. I'm going to turn over now to our Director of Operations, Joe McDonald. She'll tell us some more about the other departments that are under her control. So.
Thank you, County Executive. First of all, it's important to know, I think, as you've seen here today, that all of the departments coordinate all of their efforts together under the Department of Emergency Services to make sure that there is a coordinated effort on all of our behalf. So to that end, our Department of Public Safety will be deploying additional resources, additional crews on the overnight on the Bronx River Parkway, and an additional emergency services unit to respond to any crashes that happen or to just any needs that the county or the municipalities need. They will also be coordinating with New York State Police and other entities to make sure that everybody has the proper resources. Our health department also has a critical role, not out in the field like our other departments, but in making sure everybody is safe, in talking us through some of our safety tips. We have to be careful of hypothermia. It's going to be cold. For adults, there could be signs such as stumbling, fumbling, shivering, and slurred speech. Frostbite can happen with very, very little warning. Numbness can occur so quickly that individuals may remain outside, so it's important to dress warmly and make sure that you get inside as soon as you start to feel cold at all. There is a possibility with the ice, as the Commissioner of Emergency Services said, that there may be a loss of power. Our Department of Emergency Services is in close contact with both Con Edison and New York State Electric and Gas, and both utilities will have extra crews on hand to respond to power outages. Residents who lose power, if you can use a portable generator to fuel their homes, that is great, but never ever use a generator inside your house or in partly enclosed areas such as garages, basements, or porches. They should be operated away from open windows. So just a few safety tips. We'll get through this tomorrow, and everybody be safe. County Executive?
Thank you, Joan. And again, those tips that we continue to make sure for those folks that have New York State Electric and Gas or Con Edison, they usually have their apps available. Make sure you download those apps and make sure you have those connections. Never, ever get near a loose wire that's down. You don't know if it's live or not, and it's not time to find out when you go up close to that. So if you have the unfortunate scenario where a wire is falling on a car that you're in, stay in the car and make sure you make a phone call for our emergency services personnel to help you out. Our Department of Public Safety also patrols the Hutchinson River Parkway, the Cross County Parkway, and they're going to be out there partnering with the New York State Police and all of the local municipalities to make sure that everyone is safe and secure. Again, make sure that if you have any of those scenarios happen where you lose power or you lose heating ability, do not have one of those generators inside of a house, and make sure that you follow all of those instructions. With that, we know that, again, this is, again, a winter weather advisory for us. It is the winter. Thank you, Commissioner, for making sure to point that out. We live in the Northeast. We know we're going to have snow. The last major snowstorm we had happened on a holiday, so it was on Martin Luther King's birthday, or the celebration of Martin Luther King's birthday, and that gave us an opportunity not to have the morning rush as the impact. In this case, it's right during the middle of the morning rush. So again, if you have the opportunity to take your time and not be on the road, that would be great to give those professionals a chance to clear the roads and make sure things are safe and secure for everyone. And for yourself, Joe McDonald did mention it for the health department. When you decide to go out there, if you're going to shovel snow or chip away on ice, make sure you take a little extra time to do that stretch. And none of us are as young as we used to be, and we could certainly have people that have injuries and in some places and sometimes unfortunately death. So we won't want to see that happen to anyone. Again, making sure that we listen to the things that we were taught as younger folks to make sure that we're prepared, make sure we have our battery operated radios and our phones are fully charged just in case you lose power, and making sure that everyone is safe and secure. Once again, I'm County Executive Ken Jenkins, and we are certainly wanting to make sure to give a weather briefing for folks, and we're happy to take any questions from our media that's in the room with us. All right. Yes, sir.
There was a few years back a bad snowstorm, that's like maybe 7 years now, that happened right during rush hour going home from work.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Has there been any preemptive planning that you guys have done proactively just to worry about making sure plows aren't stuck in traffic, things like that?
So in this case, Deputy Commissioner Diamita mentioned that for the county roads, they have already done brining, so we're doing pre-work. You'll see that happen in the local municipalities. It looks like the road is kind of dusty. It may be the salt that's already going on, and they have some liquid formulations of that.
So the delayed start.
And for us in Westchester County, we have a delayed start. So we are opening a 2-hour delay.
Yep, 10 o'clock.
At 10 o'clock for tomorrow for us in the county, you should also check with your local municipalities and specifically your school districts in the morning, because usually they'll have a delayed start. That'll happen as well. But yes, the challenge that happened in that particular snowstorm is that it happened in the middle of the afternoon, and the roads did get brined. But again, when it comes down, the snow comes down as fast, that is no longer effective, and then they stop. They stopped
Yep.
doing that because it's just wasting of material, and that was what happened in that case. And it was an awful night for everyone trying to get home because the plows couldn't get through, cars are stuck. I mean, it's really an unfortunate scenario. If you live on a snow emergency street, some people do, and they need to take their vehicles off of the street altogether to make sure that those plows can get through, to make sure our emergency vehicles, our fire department, our police department, and emergency EMS vehicles can get through in case of something that needs to happen and they need to get through. So again, follow those instructions from your local community to make sure that everything is clear. Yes.
I'll take one more question.
Yes, ma'am.
So you had said that there will be additional crews out on the Bronx River Parkway overnight. Will there be other major parkways or highways where people might see some additional crews tonight?
Well, Bronx River Parkway is the parkway that we can control, but traditionally we see the New York State Department of Transportation getting their folks out early. We have several locations that are right next to the parkways. In the case for us, the Springbrook Parkway, there's a major place there. But again, when you see those folks, whether they're on 684, whether they're on the Springbrook Parkway, on the Hutchinson River or Sawmill River Parkways, make sure you give them that extra space. And again, the last time with that last snowstorm on Martin Luther King's birthday, I happened to be up in Bedford when that snow was happening, and the Sawmill River Parkway had not been cleared yet, and people were slipping around. They were having a challenge to get around with their vehicles. So again, if you don't have to be out, please take that extra time, but give all of those emergency services vehicles, our public works vehicles, those snow plows, give them lots of space and lots of room to do their work. Don't try to run right behind them. Again, that's been challenges that people do, and then that's an accident waiting to happen, again, because you don't know how quickly those vehicles are going to stop. So it was a fantastic question. Thank you for asking. But yes, we're doing that on our roads that the county manages, the Bronx River Parkway specifically. But on the rest of the roads, the New York State Department of Transportation has done a fantastic job to make sure that they're getting out as early as possible. So, all right.
Okay.
All right. Thanks a lot, everyone. And again, have a great afternoon, and we'll be able to get back to folks soon.